Okay, here we are with the 2022 Extreme Benchrest 100-yard champion. Can you please tell everyone your name, sir?
Yes, my name is Jeffrey Hernandez. I am from Panama, Central America, and this was my second year here, but first year in pro class shooting.
Wow, that is fantastic. And let's see, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about the rifle that you shot?
Okay, I'm shooting this year the same airgun I shot last year. The one I won actually last year in Sportsman, and this year I'm shooting the same gun. It's a Thomas Air 22 caliber HP. HPX is the model. Yes.
Nice. And what type of optic are you using?
The scope I'm shooting this year with the Delta Striker HD.
Okay. First or second focal plane?
A second focal plane, and it has, I think, a 50x magnification.
Okay. Okay. And were you using a bipod or a
Yes,
Benchrest?
I was using a bipod that Nikolai, my Russian friend, he made it. He gave to me that bipod last year, so I'm shooting with the bipod he made for me.
Okay. Any other accessories that helped you get to this point?
Well, you know, this type of airgun I'm shooting, those are designed to be shot like with the proper front rest. But I think for me, I need to be able to jump from one bull to another a little bit faster, or from a bull to a sider, or the other way around faster. So shooting from a bipod, I think it's better for me.
Okay.
So what I do to compensate is that I put a little bit of weight on the gun. I'm not a gunsmith, so whatever you see in my gun is not like the best thing. I just did it just looking to achieve a little bit of give a little bit of just calm the gun a little bit.
Okay. And did I notice, were you running an FX chronograph on there?
Yes. I'm running an FX chronograph because the conditions here are different than the ones I have in my country. So every time, it happened to me last year and this year when I came, the gun was shooting harder, a little bit more speed-wise speaking. It was shooting 965-ish back home, and when I arrived here, it goes to 948, around 980-ish. So with the chrony, I just want to know exactly what is shooting at.
To dial it back a little bit.
Yes.
Okay.
And also, I don't have a proper gauge in my reservoir, so that's kind of helping me to more or less know how many shots I am going through, so when to refill it, and that kind of stuff. And also it helps me to when I get home, to see the string, the shot string, so kind of analyze what I did, how I did it, to see how consistent my gun was, and that helped me also in the practices.
Very smart.
Yes.
Do you actually keep an eye on the velocity during your shooting?
Yes, I use it like, for example, if I see a shot way too high or way too low and the flags doesn't show me that, I might go into the velocity to see if that was maybe a pellet problem, a speed problem, a regulator problem. So sometimes it's hard during a match because there are so many things that you have to be mentally focused. Yeah. But I do. I try.
And you mentioned your velocity was, your desired velocity was about 940?
No, that was the velocity that the gun was kind of designed.
Okay.
It was like 965-ish.
Okay.
More or less.
So are you shooting 22 caliber?
Yes, 22. The Monster designs.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, I got a couple random questions for you.
Yes.
So, did you practice for this event in windy conditions or fair conditions?
No, the wind conditions I have back home are way better than here, way better. And even though with that, sometimes I struggle when I get like shifting wind conditions, but are not so strong than here. So it takes me a couple of times to try to get my mind like properly into the holdovers.
Yes.
It takes me time.
Well,
So I'm not used to these conditions.
Great job reading the wind because it was extreme.
Yes, it was very, very extreme.
All right. How many hours do you think you practiced in preparation for this?
Well, this year, to be honest, I didn't put the time I did last year. Last year, I was practicing like crazy, but a lot. I think last year I shot from July to September, to the end of September, more or less, last year. I think I should have practiced like maybe 25 cards per month, more or less, last year. And this year, due to work, I was not able to do that. I was practicing maybe from July, August, maybe like 10 to 12 cards per month. But in the last week before coming in here, in that week, I shot like maybe like 40 cards in 1 week.
Wow, okay.
So, but
Okay.
I need to shoot more, for sure.
Well, you did a fantastic job. 2 more quick questions.
Yes.
All right. What's the best piece of advice you can give someone who's considering competition?
Okay. The first advice will be not for somebody who is considering, but for the more experienced shooters,
Okay.
because that happened to me. I am pretty sure that I will not be in this position, like not physical here, but in this position that I won, right? So if that was not because of somebody else, somebody with the knowledge, with experience, just to take the time and to answer my question, to help me, to transmit their knowledge. And I'm pretty sure that that's the first thing. If you, as an experienced air gunner, if you see somebody new and this guy asks something, just give it a hand.
Okay.
Because that is the first most important thing. So the community grows better, bigger, and who knows, maybe you will help be tomorrow's champion. We never know. And the other thing that's gonna be for the people, you have to take the time to do things. You have to take the time to sit with your gun, spend a lot of time knowing the gun, knowing the wind. You must have wind flags, because shooting, I've seen a lot of people shooting without wind flags, and I don't know how can they do that. That will be for me like shooting with my eyes closed. So have wind flags. Sometimes I just go into a backyard, not a shooting range, just a backyard, put the flags and just sit down and see my flags sometimes. Because for me to practice, I have to drive like 2 hours, 1.5 hours, depends on the traffic. So it's a little bit far. So sometimes I just put my flags in a space and see what they do.
Ah, good
so
advice.
time. You have to put the time into
Put
it.
the time and be ultimately
Yeah,
familiar with
and
your
it's
equipment.
hard because sometimes you're practicing and you get some weird shots and you say you get like into a very bad mind. Your mind tells you like, hey, you must give up. Don't do it. Eventually it will pay off. Eventually.
Good.
You have to be patient, I think.
That is great advice. Great advice. All right, let's wrap this up with one more question. What are you going to do with the money that you won?
Actually, coming into here, I came with all my family. We are 6. I'm coming from a foreign country, so I think part of that money will be like to cover my expenses. And now, obviously, I'm gonna go and buy a very nice dinner for all my family.
Yeah.
And we actually have 1 more week to spend in LA, because I have to drive to LA and then take the plane back to my country from LA.
Okay.
So we want to spend a week in LA, and we'll go to the parks, take my daughter to Disneyland, and have some fun.
That sounds like a really good plan.
Yeah.
Again, congratulations on your achievement, and thanks for sharing all that with us.
Thank you very much to you.